Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. I'm your host. Folks, let me tell you, today we had 3 more members that announced their successful appointments that they've had with their bankers. We had folks that announced today that they had their meetings just last week. Some announced that they have a second and their third appointments coming up this week. Some with their third and fourth appointments next week. These are the actual bankers that will have the responsibility to exchange their currencies, the responsibility to grow and manage their wealth, their generational wealth. You can click the link at the top of the description. You can join the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room for free. We have 8 steps that our members are following that we shared. You have the opportunity, the golden opportunity, to learn from the actual people that have already done it. Just imagine already being set in meeting the people, the team of bankers that are just waiting for the exchange rates to begin to move to exchange your currency. You have the opportunity. Click the link at the top of the description, folks. Come on in. Now, let's jump right into what Goldilocks is sharing today. Speaking of golden opportunity, folks, what is going to back our currencies in the new digital banking system for the RV? Gold. What will provide the strength and stability on the rates? So for whatever rates we exchange at, what will provide the stability to maintain those rates, to maintain your wealth? That will be gold and other precious metals that will be digital in the banking system. See, many people have been given the impression that it will be precious metals that will determine the value of the currency exchange rate. Santa Claus is not coming to town. The tooth fairy is not real. Folks, precious metals will not be utilized to determine the exchange rate of any country's currency. That is not how it works. However, it is precious metals that will be utilized in order to maintain the new rate after the exchange. Let me say that another way as well. Not only after the exchange, folks, we're now in a new digital asset-based banking system where it is the precious metals that are the assets that are a part of the reserves of each bank around the world as a result of Basel III that went live July the 1st. It is precious metals, specifically gold, that is in the reserves of all the major central banks around the world and all the banks. Central Bank of Iraq, which is a central bank. So it'd back the dinar. The State Bank of Vietnam, which is their central bank, in order to back the Vietnamese dong, and every other central bank around the world for all the currencies that we hold. Gold is a precious metal. But what Goldilocks is sharing today, something very significant that Vietnam has done. They have announced a trading platform specifically for precious metals. What is this? Just imagine. This is the establishment of what's called a precious metal trading floor within Vietnam. They have actually built what's called an international finance center in 2 major cities within Vietnam. They are going to monetize their precious metals and trade them in the open market. Folks, this is what is just another caveat that will provide the strength and stability of the Vietnamese dong. This will enable increased investments into Vietnam, market economy, strengthen their economy. It will increase the cash flow into Vietnam and will strengthen the Vietnamese dong as well. It will boost the precious metal market of other precious metals, silver, copper, all within the Vietnamese market to further strengthen the Vietnamese dong. This will be the equivalent of sugar honey iced tea in Vietnam, and all the flies of investors coming to Vietnam so that they can flock to the sugar honey iced tea like we know flies do. Or when I was younger and we would travel down south to North Carolina, my family has a farm down there, and my uncle had a watermelon patch. And we would go down there, and he would go out and get a watermelon. We sit on the porch, on the swing. And he would chop up that watermelon, and the flies come fly. We would have to fight the flies for the watermelon. I learned how to fight real good, fighting them flies. But see, as Vietnam is opening this trading platform for precious metals, whereby the Vietnamese dong will be used, and financial institutions from around the world, another way to access the Vietnamese financial markets. Flies on watermelon, flies on sugar honey iced tea. See, with Vietnam, they have passed a new law to begin what's called a sandbox, which is a testing ground to test the waters, if you will, in order to implement this. It starts on September the 1st. This precious metals trading floor, Goldilocks is stating, is unlikely to cause dramatic short-term shifts in the exchange rate of the Vietnamese dong due to the sandbox phase. But over the long term, it could strengthen Vietnamese dong by attracting foreign investment and enhancing financial stability. But increased U.S. demand for precious metals trading may introduce mild depreciation. This will be significant for the Vietnamese dong Goldilocks is stating that it looks like Vietnam is going to significantly deepen their ties, folks, to many countries going forward through their emerging market status. This is just something totally different and separate, but will also impact the Vietnamese dong moving forward. This will impact their exchange rates. The sandbox now for these precious metals will minimize exchange rates to a period of testing. It takes around 20 to 30 days for the testing. Does not take 20 to 30 days from that point for it to see a rate change. This is the testing phase. Goldilocks is stating that in the meantime, controls will be kept on the Vietnamese dong to stabilize the new changes taking place in their overall financial markets. The long-term effects, short, medium, and long-term, will be very effective in a positive way. This is why we continue to stress having an exit strategy. Because with an exit strategy, meaning you know or have an idea. You know what this reminds me of when I think about it? I'm now thinking about, it was that Willie Nelson song, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. That means you have an exit strategy. You know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, know when to exit, know when to run. Folks, it's best to have a strategy than no strategy at all. This is your investment. We encourage you to allow yourselves to be empowered. God has given us all discernment and power within us. There's a light within us. Every human being has a light within. We hope to uncover that light and allow you to be comfortable with allowing the light so shine from within. There's so much on a daily basis that Goldilocks is sharing that will help strengthen you and help empower the light from within. What Goldilocks is sharing about this particular news from Vietnam, about this trading platform for precious metals. Just think, President Trump just negotiated precious metal deals with China, Russia, Ukraine, Europe, and others. Folks, there are many moving parts that enable the movement of rates and currencies. There are many moving parts. Let me just speak your language. There's many moving parts that will move the rates up for each country's currency. Vietnam, specifically, is touching as many parts as they can right now. Precious metals. Precious metal trading floor. Just think, speaking of trading floor, Forex, folks, is a trading floor. Forex is the trading of foreign currencies on a daily basis, which is trillions of dollars daily that are traded in foreign currency. Precious metals. Same thing. Trillions daily. Now, Vietnam tapping into it, opening their own precious metal trading floor. This will impact the Vietnamese dong. the potential for the FTSE Russell, an international stock upgrade by the FTSE Russell for Vietnam. The review is in September. The date is October the 7th, which they will announce. The FTSE will announce the outcome of it, of the upgrade, whether or not Vietnam gets it. That's another potential. Then it's on the table, whereby Vietnam, and we have it in writing, that Vietnam is in the midst of still negotiating their trade deal with the U.S., and it is in discussion for Vietnam to be considered a market economy by the U.S. That is just another. That's set part and parcel, separate from the FTSE Russell. I hope you just picked up what I just put down. See, when you hear market economy, you hear emerging market, I am thinking that some people are putting it all together to think it's just one event, one possibility for Vietnam in September to be recognized by the FTSE Russell. No. That's just one. I think this is something that we should cover on a Saturday Night Dialogues call to bring more clarity, because yes, there's multiple opportunities for Vietnam brewing that will influence their exchange rate. These tariffs have actually kicked off the movement, which is called volatility on a heavier basis in the global foreign exchange market. Folks, if you don't have relationships with the actual bankers, it is in your best interest that you begin. Also, I encourage you, if you come into the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, ask for help up front. You don't have to go at this alone. Go out there communicating with these banks and trying to wing it with your ego. Then come back into the room saying, hey, oh my God, I screwed up, Freedom. Can y'all help? After you done been to the bank and pulled down your pants and pooed on the floor, come ask for help up front so that we can walk you through. That's the best way. Hope you picked up what I put down for you today, folks. Those relationships are key. Pay attention to what Goldilocks is putting out every single day. It gets better as the days go by. We love you, folks. Ciao.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.